And once a day or more, mothers trundle into the sea to find food. And that's when their babies become prey. The babies have no defenses. They strangle the baby, gripping it by the throat until it suffocates. It takes up to 20 minutes. The tough skin and thick layer of fat make it hard to get to the meat. Until they discover the weak point beneath the flippers. With the mother away, no seal will intervene. In December, at the peak of the southern summer, the drought has its grip on the land. The waterhole at Garub attracts animals from ever further away. Namakwa sand grouse land in their hundreds. Males dip their breast feathers into the water to carry it back to their nestlings. The heat of the day ends with a relaxing roll in the dust. For an exhausted elderly stallion, it becomes a torture. Without the energy to graze all day, his muscles have wasted away. The Atlantic fog rarely penetrates into the interior. It's reached as far as Garub. A few drops on a brittle grass stalk make a big difference in a drought. The horses can stay a little longer where the food is. The cooler weather is welcome on the coast, too. Black-footed penguins suffer in the heat. But now, they show unexpected vitality. It's time for nest building. Using seaweed from the beach. Along the coast, the hunt continues. But now the jackals have competition. The strand wolf, the brown hyena. Baby seals are easy prey. At 40 kilos, this hyena has 4 times the strength of a jackal. When his jaws close around the skull of a seal, they crush it instantly. When prey's abundant, the hyenas fall into a blood rush. They will kill and abandon their prey. Nature seems to have cast them as the villain. But they're simply surviving at the edge of the desert. In the interior, the shortage of food is reaching crisis point. Normally night hunters, the spotted hyenas have begun to attack during the day. Horses bear the marks of the attacks. And once again, they show solidarity in time of need. A lead mare licks the wounds of a young horse to encourage healing. A brief moment of peace before the next attack. With summer past its peak, there's still no sign of rain. Now seriously emaciated, the horses set off again in search of food. They'll have to make do with roots and dried out twigs. Like all horses, they can recycle their own dung. It's now the only source of extra nourishment. The mineral deficiency will be a death sentence for many. For the old, the young, even for mares that have given birth, they need so much more energy to provide milk for their foals. This mare was left behind. She became a welcome meal for hyenas and jackals. Many of this year's foals fell victim to the nightly attacks. Even without a predator, prospects can be poor. If a foal can't stand, it can't suckle. A mare won't lie down to feed her young. It would be too dangerous. The stallion has no choice. He must return to protect the herd. But in the end, he just wasn't strong enough. Low pressure over the Atlantic forces moisture-laden clouds into the interior. enough for the rains. The first real rains for a year. Briefly, the rain collects in the hollows. Water and dust mix into the perfect mudbowl. Overnight, islands of grass appear. It's just enough to keep them going. And the Namibs find the energy to enjoy it. Over on the coast, it's a time of hope, too. The penguins are raising their young. Jackals are looking to the future. The oryx return from their distant wanderings. The Namibs have survived the harshness of the desert for another year, in an environment they were never made for. To become a symbol of one of the most fantastic places on our Earth. Africa's Wild West.